Okay guys, we're going to be talking about Skyburners Oath today. Yes, I'm still sick, I sound like shit, and my mic is new as well, and I don't know how to edit the audio, but it's still going to sound like crap for the next few weeks until we can get it figured out. With that being said though, let's talk about Skyburners Oath. This is a scout rifle. It's exotic. It was exotically shit though for such a long time. There were so many times I wanted this gun to be good, and it just wasn't. Shout out to BFD for getting the exotic Masterworked version of this gun because it makes it even nastier. Now the catalyst is found by currying the Emperor's favor, which just sounds like raid activities. Don't know what you need to do afterwards. I'll update that down below in one of the comments. With that being said though, let's talk about Skyburners Oath in this AC-130 build, man, that I have been using all day today. So right off the bat, guys, Skyburners Oath has been reworked, as in it actually has a much better intrinsic perk to it. Essentially, now the weapon lobs large explosive seeking slugs when you're firing from the hip. Now when you're aiming down sights, the slugs travel fast and straight, but with higher damage and a lower rate of fire. Now the rate of fire change when aiming down sights is actually from 240 when firing from the hip and 180 when aiming down sights. So pretty significant there if you're used to just spamming shots from the hip. Now in terms of TTK differences, they're pretty much the same. When aiming down sights, you've got a TTK of 1.33 seconds, and then when firing from the hip, you've got a 1.37 second TTK. Now I will say hip firing is a lot more forgiving, as in 2 crits, 3 body shots is all you need from hip fire, whereas you need 3 crits and 1 body shot when firing down sights. Now as far as body shot TTK, which is primarily what you're going to be seeing here, guys, 6 body shots at 1.67 seconds for Skyburners Oath from the hip is all you need, man. 5 body shots when aiming down sights is significantly higher in the terms of TTK at 2.17 seconds, so you don't want to be leaning towards that. With that being said though, the stats that really stand out about this gun is the fact that its stability is 55, which is pretty nice, and also its aim assist is at 80. Once you get the Masterworked version of the gun as well, that range is at 82. 82, guys, that's a shit ton. That huge range buff essentially allowed me to have very minimum damage fall off, and again, range is definitely tied into your accuracy at a distance. So all of these things was really working well for the gun. Now let's talk about this build that we got going on here, guys. We had Lion Rampant here yesterday be reworked. I did a review on it, and overall I was pretty positive about Lion Rampant, but I felt that there was something else missing. Someone had actually commented yesterday while I was streaming and said, man, you should really try it out with Skyburners Oath, and he was just saying it for shits and giggles, and it turns out it's deadly. Skyburners Oath in combination with Lion Rampant as well as Catapult Jump to constantly be floofing above enemies is a deadly combination. A build worthy to even call a build, because there's so many things in this game that I felt like just didn't have a lot of synergy, which is why everything has been so reliant on weapons. We haven't had a setup that was like no backup plans and shoddy. You know, we haven't had setups that we had in D1 that had such good synergy with each other. They constantly be aiding each other, weapons and armor working in harmony, and we've not had that really here in D2 outside of a couple setups, and this right here is a new build that I present to you, man. Now I'm always firing from the hip. I'm constantly getting buff my enemies, and that's another thing, man. It throws them off. They're always expecting you to be eye level with them when you come around a corner, but instead you're just floating above them and moving around. Whereas this is different from Warlocks. Warlocks, you can do the same thing where you float above enemies, but I felt like your fall time with the Warlock is much slower, as in you get into a situation where you need to immediately get back on the ground. Lion Rampant with Catapult doesn't make me floof. I'm able to go straight back to the ground if I get myself in a pinch while I'm in the air. With that being said though, you're going to be up in the air a bunch, man, constantly pecking away at people, man, constantly raining hellfire on them. Now overall, the setup really allows you to do one of two things. Number one, you're automatically increasing your TTK by just simply losing the enemy in their line of sight. You're immediately getting 2 to 3 shots off before they can even register where the hell you are. Then the moment they finally do see you, they'll start to fight. But even then, they're already getting hit so much with those explosive payloads that it's already messing their line of sight up even more. So then they have an issue with even locating you once they do find you and engaging in that fight. So to me, it's like a double whammy. You know, you're screwing them up by not being in their line of sight to begin with, and 2, you're screwing them up by constantly hitting them and obscuring their view. Now, Skyburners Oath is not necessarily a weapon I would just say is the most competitive, optimal weapon, but in team environments, in these 4v4 situations, I felt like the gun really shined, man. It's a team-oriented weapon. I'm not there for team shot. I'm just saying that in general, the gun disorients enemies so bad. Now, the TTK is not the best, especially since you're going to be firing from the hip a lot, and a lot of those are body shots, but I'm just saying that in general, the gun is meant for team environments, and it does such a good job as far as you being able to handle yourself from a distance by being in the air and above them. Now, the way it pairs with Lion Rampant is the best I've ever seen, guys. It is essentially working hand in hand with what Lion Rampant's perk is, which essentially allows you to get more hip fire accuracy while firing from the air. So again, the synergy is there. Another thing that I was doing, guys, was using hammers as well as a rocket launcher. Again, you want to piss some people off, boys. Always find yourself in the air and always be killing them before they even know it. This is the best vertical build game that I've ever seen from the Titan class right now, and it's so unusual. From a fun factor perspective though, guys, I was having a ball with this build, man. It is so much fun and was truly reminiscent of what we used to experience in D1. Guys, try it out for yourself. Again, Skyburners Oath, Lion Rampant, Catapult Jump. Throw some hammers on there as well, boys, and maybe rock out a rocket launcher. You'll be rocking people without them ever even knowing what the hell is hitting them. It is a fantastic build. You'll have a lot of fun with it. Go into a team of 4 and try this out. I'm sure you'll piss some people off, but it was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you so much for coming and watching this video. Let me know below what you think about this build, what you think about this gun, and as always, guys,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.
So let's get closer.